Hi and hello, Rays fans, and welcome to this presentation of Rays Baseball, second game of this three-game series, and a pitcher's duel, if there ever was one. Charlie Mountain on the mound for the Rays, and Hyunjin Ryu on the bump for the visiting Blue Jays. Rays coming in at 8-12, Blue Jays at 9-11. It's the Rays ace today, Charlie Morton. On the season, he's 2-2 with a 1.48 ERA. In his last start, he got a win versus the Cleveland Indians, went 7 innings pitched, gave up 4 hits, no runs, walked 2, and struck out 9, looking to build onto that performance and get above 500. The first batter he will face, Rowdy Tellez, batting .234 on the season. He had the golden sombrero yesterday in the first pitch here in St. Pete. It swung on and missed for strike 1. As I was saying, 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts was Tellez. A bit strange to see that performance and make him the leadoff man, but that is what the Blue Jays do. Charlie Montoyo, the manager of the Blue Jays, a familiar face. And another cut and a miss from Tellez. And it seems like more of the same for him. And now the 0-2 from Morton is inside for ball 1. Now, the lineup for the visiting Blue Jays, leading off, it is the first baseman, Rowdy Tellez. Batting second, the third baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Batting third, the shortstop, Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Batting cleanup, the left fielder, Teoscar Hernandez. Batting fifth, the DH, Bo Bichette. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Randal Grichuk. Batting seventh, the catcher, Reese McGuire. Batting eighth, the center fielder, Billy McKinney. And batting ninth, playing second base, it's Cavan Biggio, as Grichuk strikes out on 4 pitches there, and now he moves to 0 for 5 with 5 strikeouts on the series. Morton picking up an early K, and now there's 1 gone for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That first pitch in there for strike 1, so with that 96-mile-an-hour fastball, Charlie Morton is really coming out swinging. Guerrero Jr. is 265 on the season, had a decent day yesterday, reaching base a couple of times, as that one is backhanded by Diaz, and the throw to first will not be in time. The long throw was tough to get there in time. Guerrero Jr. beats it out just in time and call it a base hit. It's a 1-out single. A nice play defensively for Yandy Diaz to even get over there, but couldn't get the throw in time. Jose Martinez playing first, so a bit of a wonky infield alignment with those two. A couple of guys that we don't see play the field normally. And now Morton gives up his first hit. That curveball taken for strike 1. So it's now Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who's 280 on the season. He went 1 for 4 yesterday. He takes that pitch inside, and it's 1-1. Only 8 pitches so far, but you have to like what you see from the Rays' ace Morton. The Rays, reeling off of 3 straight losses, need a win badly, as that one is taken low. Freddie Ferguson, the home plate ump, calling the balls and strikes. And now the 2-1 is taken low, so Gurriel Jr. has taken some pitches. And he's up in the count, 3 balls to only a strike. And now the pitch from Morton is taken inside easily for ball 4, so it'll be a 1-out walk. And now Morton has allowed a couple of base runners after that walk to Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And now it's the cleanup man, the left fielder Teoscar Hernandez. 162 on the season, had a bit of a rough game yesterday. Did go 1 for 4. A single, but 3 strikeouts. 2 on with only 1 out. Here in the first, the Blue Jays won yesterday, 4-1. It was tied 1-1 into the late stages, and it was a 3-run homer by Bo Bichette to give the Jays the win. And now the 1-0 is going to right up the middle. It's going to get down for a base hit. Guerrero Jr. will score, and that will give the Jays an early 1-0 lead. An RBI single for Teoscar Hernandez. And just when you thought this could have been Morton's day, he's got in a bit of a struggle. His second hit allowed and his first earned run. He's only recorded an out. And now it will be Bo Bichette, the man that we just talked about, that hit the 3-run homer. Cuts and miss there at the fastball low, and it's 0-1. It's a good inning for Toronto, no matter, as they do take the lead early on. And that one is going to be shot foul. That would have been dangerous if it had stayed fair, the way the first baseman, Jose Martinez, was shifted. That would have gone probably back to the wall. But it stayed foul, and now it's 0-2. Couldn't get Bichette to chase. That was a good pitch. That sweeping curveball that he's known for. Let's see if he goes back to it on a 1-2. He does, and he makes contact. Backhanded by Diaz. Throws to second for 1, and a first for 2. It's a double play to get out of the inning. So the Rays gave up a run, but that's going to be it. They get out of it with a double play. Yandy Diaz busy over there at third. It's 1-0 Jays early. Hyun-Jin Ryu, the starter for the Blue Jays on the season, he is 1-0 with a 3.25 ERA. In his last start, he got a win versus the Royals, went a complete game shutout, 9 innings pitched, only gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. So certainly on fire is the Blue Jays ace. They signed him in free agency away from the Los Angeles Dodgers. Ryu, a guy that was in contention for the National League Cy Young Award. That, of course, did go to Jacob deGrom, as Cy Grom got his second straight National League Cy Young Award. That first pitch to Martinez was rolled off the bat and went foul, kind of a funky play. And now it's 0-1 to the man leading off. A strange lineup today, certainly, as that one is shot foul. Kevin Cash getting creative against a lefty pitcher, something they haven't seen in quite a while. And so the lineup for the Rays, leading off, it's the first baseman, Jose Martinez. Batting second, the third baseman, Yandy Diaz. Batting third, the left fielder, Hunter Renfroe. Batting cleanup, the right fielder, Austin Meadows. Batting fifth, the DH, Manuel Margot. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Brandon Lau. Batting seventh, the center fielder, Kevin Kiermaier. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Willie Adames. And batting ninth and catching, Michael Perez. That one, that grounder by Martinez went right through the middle. Looked like it could have done some damage, but picked up by the pitcher, Ryu. And now Martinez is retired, 1-3. And that will bring up Yandy Diaz. Diaz is 133 on the season. He hasn't played in quite some time. The right-handed Diaz has been on the bench in favor of the lefty Wendell, who has played a solid third base. But now with the lefty starting pitcher and an ace at that, Kevin Cash making the move to play the righty-lefty. The 0-1 to Diaz is in there for strike 2, so now he's down in a hurry. Now what the Rays were hoping for the top of this lineup to get some early runs, as Diaz sits on a pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-2. Couple of takes by Diaz, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. The pitch from Ryu is swung on and missed. A nice pitch. A bit of a front door slider to strike out Diaz. That gives Ryu his first punch out of the day, and now there's 2 gone. And it will be the left fielder, Hunter Renfroe. Renfroe did hit a home run yesterday. It was a solo shot that gave the Rays their sole run of the day. In fact, one of only 3 hits that they would pick up. Now the 1-0 to Renfroe is swung on and missed. Ryu doing some damage with those front door sliders. Rays not able to make contact with it just yet. And the 1-1 to Renfroe is going to be grounded right to the third baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and he throws to first to retire Renfroe. So the Rays in the first inning go down 1-2-3. They now trail early, 1-0 after 1. Leading off this second inning for Toronto, it's the right fielder, Randal GRICHUK. He's 246 on the year. Went 0 for 4 yesterday with 3 strikeouts, and the first pitch to him got in a swing at the curveball, and he fouls it back. GRICHUK is 4 for 10 with a double in his career against Morton. And now the 0-1. Couldn't get him to chase high, and it's Count even at a ball and a strike. 19 pitches for Morton. He gave up a run in the first inning. It was an RBI single for Teoscar Hernandez. Scored Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from second. The count to GRICHUK is now 2 balls and a strike. The pitch here is popped up and absolutely unloaded on by GRICHUK. That one is going to get all the way out of the park. And now the Blue Jays hold a 2-0 lead. That solo shot is the 4th of the season for GRICHUK. And now, in a day where the Rays needed his A game, Charlie Morton through 2 innings has already given up 2 runs. Third hit of the day already allowed by Morton. He hung it over the plate, and Randal GRICHUK absolutely punished him. One of the deepest home runs we've seen in quite some time, nearly 455 feet. Possibly the longest here in Tropicana Field in 2020. And now that led off the inning. Now, Morton still has 3 outs to get, something never easy to do after giving up a home run like that. It's the catcher, Reese McGuire, to the plate now. He is 140 on the year, home run, and 5 runs batted in. His on-base percentage isn't much better, just 156. Not a lot of walks worked by him, and now the 1-0 is taken high. McGuire swings at that offering, and it's fouled away. Now it's 2 balls and a strike. And the 2-1 outside for ball 3. So the Blue Jays at the bottom part of their order. Reese McGuire, the man up now, is batting 7th. So Morton will have the bottom of the order to try and straighten things out as he's given up 2 runs through 1+. As he's going to walk McGuire to give the Jays another base runner, and now things begin to unravel for the Rays ace. That's his 2nd walk issued, the 5th base runner already today. Now it's Billy McKinney, a 4-game hitting streak for him. First time we're seeing him this series. 211 on the season. He's playing center field here today. The first pitch that he sees from Morton is cut on and missed. Got him with the curveball there. McKinney 2 for 5 with 2 doubles in his career against Morton. Now the 0-1 is popped up. It'll be chased by the center fielder Kiermaier, and he'll be there in time to make a running catch. So the runner, McGuire, will stay at first, and now there's 1 gone. So Billy McKinney flies out to center. That'll bring up Cavan Biggio. Biggio, a man that led off in the lineup yesterday, so a guy that can play 1 through 9. In the leadoff spot, he went 2 for 3 and a walk, so he reached base 3 times. And now the first pitch that he sees is low. So Morton really just has had a lot of trouble throwing strikes, can't keep the pitches in the strike zone, and the Blue Jays not much swinging and missing at the off-speed stuff. Just a strikeout picked up. It was the leadoff man, Rowdy Tellez, and that looked like Morton could be headed for good things today, and then things began to unravel. It's not too late, though, to get things under wraps, as he's given up only 2 runs. And now the 1-1 to Biggio is outside a hair for ball 2, so it's 2 balls and a strike to the man playing second base for the road team, Cavan Biggio. He swings and misses at that high fastball, so he got him to chase there. Now it's 2-2. 33rd pitch upcoming for Morton. And then the pitch is swung on and missed. So Morton picks up his 2nd strikeout of Cavan Biggio. Got him to chase on a couple fastballs, 1 high and 1 low. And now there's 2 gone. As Morton looks to put this bad start behind him, the Jays go back to the top of their lineup. It's Rowdy Tellez who struck out in his first try against Morton. I have to say, this is probably one of the first times this season a Rays pitcher has already faced the top of the lineup for a 2nd time as early as the second inning. There's 2 outs, though. So maybe an easy put out to Tellez, and Morton can begin to put this whole thing behind him. The Rays' offense has been stagnant as of late, so they're going to have to get things going if they have any dreams of making this series competitive. And now the 1-1 to Tellez is cut on and missed. Tellez, man, has a lot of trouble connecting with the baseball recently, and now the 1-2 is inside. Morton near 40 pitches. The balls and strikes have been about even, 17 balls, 20 strikes. And you wonder about making an early call to the bullpen again. Ryan Yarbrough only gave you 5 innings yesterday, and that one is popped up. Kiermaier's going to go back to the wall, and that one is off the wall. It's going to score the runner, so it'll be an RBI double for Rowdy Tellez as Reese McGuire scores all the way from first. It's now 3-0 Blue Jays, and Kyle Schneider is going to come out to give a little chat to Morton and try and get things straightened out. So the first double of the season for Tellez was a double off the wall and left center. And like I said, just when you thought they could get out of it, the Jays tack on another run. It's now 3-0. And now it's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. with a man on first, and that one is going to be shot foul, but well off the bat. Jr. singled in his first at-bat. Another one of those would make it 4-0, and now the 0-1 is taken low for ball 1. The 1-1 is outside. Can't get him to chase, and it's 2 balls and a strike. As we said, Rowdy Tellez at second with 2 outs. Blue Jays lead 3-0 here in the second. The 2-1 pitch is fouled down the right field line. Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes, so Morton hopefully can go to the put-away pitch with a sweeping curve. And he does, but Guerrero won't chase, and it's 3-2, so the count goes full. .43 pitches for Morton. He's always calm, but, you know, certainly inside he's not happy with his performance in the early going. And now the payoff pitch is inside for ball 4, so Guerrero will walk. He's reached base twice already today. Third walk issued by Morton as he's had struggle with control. Four hits and 3 walks for a total of 7 base runners. As now Lourdes Gurriel Jr., who walked in his first try against Morton, the first pitch that he sees is taken for strike 1. At this point, Blue Jays hitters, I suppose, just assume that it's going to be called outside the strike zone. So maybe Morton can use that to his advantage with some strikes in early counts if he can pump them in the zone. And now the 0-1. He got him to chase there. They say he went around. And now it's 0-2. Morton just a strike away from getting out of an inning in which he's given up 2 runs. And now the 0-2 is inside. And this 1-2 is swung on and missed. So we got Gurriel Jr. to strike out. That will end the inning, but the Blue Jays pick up another 2 runs. It's a rough start for Morton. Headed to the bottom of the second, it's 3-0 Blue Jays. Getting this second inning started, it's the right fielder Austin Meadows. Meadows 213 on the season. It's been an up and down year for him. He's batted all the way through the lineup just about. The first pitch that he sees is popped up. The center fielder McKinney is going to go back and make the catch in front of the track. Meadows liked the first pitch he saw and gave it a ride, but couldn't get it out as it died in that deep part in true center field. And now there's one gone, bringing up the DH Manuel Margot. Margot is 125 on the season in limited at-bats. Picked up his first hit of the game in his last appearance. He's 1 for 8 in his career against Rue. But it's a righty on lefty that Kevin Cash wanted. And he puts down the bunt. And it's popped up straight to Reese McGuire. And that'll be out number 2, a poorly executed bunt. Can try and get a base runner. And that backfires. And now the little pop-up to the catcher will bring up Brandon Lau with 2 outs. A lefty-on-lefty matchup. Lau is 230 on the season. He takes that first pitch for strike 1. Yesterday, Lau was 1 for 4 with a double. That came in the 9th inning, when the Rays were trying to get something going. And now the 0-1 pitch is taken for strike 2 so quickly. Lau is now down in the count. Rue is now down the first 5 batters in order. And went high for ball 1. The 1-2 pitch to Lau is blocked in the dirt by McGuire. The catcher is set up way outside, and Lau didn't chase. It's now 2 balls and 2 strikes. With 2 outs and no man on, the Rays are down 3. And now the 2-2 pitch is taken high, so now it's 3-2. As Lau looks to be the first Ray to reach base. Rue's line has only included a strikeout, that's it. But he's retired the first 5 batters. And now the payoff to Lau is cut. It'll be chased by the first baseman Tellez, who flips to Rue, covering the first base bag to retire Lau. It's now 3 up and 3 down. Rue has now put down the first 6 batters in order. At the end of 2, it's 3-0 Blue Jays. Middle part of the order here for the Blue Jays. It's the cleanup man, Teoscar Hernandez, to bat first. Hernandez is 1 for 1 with a single his first time against Morton. It was an RBI that scored Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That came in the first inning that gave them an early 1-0 lead. They have since built off of that. It was a Randal GRICHUK home run and an RBI double by Rowdy Tellez. And now the 0-1 to Hernandez is in there for strike 2. And at 50 pitches, Morton's outing to this point is certainly limited, but he can still try and get the Rays some innings, as that's certainly what they need. The bullpen, I would say it's fair to say, is a bit stressed. Nick Anderson appeared yesterday in a non-save situation, had a clean 9th inning, which was good to see, as he's 5 for 6 on the year for saves, only 1 blown. Came against the Pittsburgh Pirates in a game they would ultimately go on to lose. Now the 1-2 to Hernandez. Couldn't get him to chase on the sweeping curve, and it's taken for ball 2. And now the pitch from Morton is slapped right to third baseman Diaz, who will straighten and throw to first to retire Teoscar Hernandez. It goes 5-3, and he's the first man to be retired in this 3rd inning. That will bring up Bo Bichette. He's 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play in the 1st inning that ended the threat for the visiting team. In that 1st inning, they picked up a run, but that was it. And now the first pitch that he sees is low for ball 1. That's a pitch where it wasn't necessarily a curveball. It looks like he just kind of lost control and it just fell into the dirt. That's not going to get you anywhere against major league hitters. That one he gets in the strike zone, so the count even at a ball and a strike. And then this one to Bichette is a hair inside for ball 2. Tried to get the curveball to break in. It didn't break in quite enough, and now it's 2 balls and a strike. 58th pitch upcoming for Morton now. He's been busy here today. We're only in the 3rd. That one in there for strike 2. That high fastball there at 96 miles an hour. And now the 2-2 is going to be flared right to the shortstop. Adames lined right to him. And that will retire Bichette. He's now 0 for 2 on the day. As now Randal GRICHUK to come up with 2 outs and the base is empty. He's 1 for 1, a solo shot in the second inning. They gave the Blue Jays a 2-0 lead. They've since built onto that, of course, and the first pitch he's used for Morton is taken for ball 1. Kind of to my point, Blue Jays hitters can just take pitches from Morton because he's had trouble finding the zone. That one is in there. For strike 1, his curveballs have been hit or miss. They've been taken more times than not, so it's the ones that stay in the zone that count for strikes. The sweeping ones outside, they have not gotten many chases, as that one there, for example, did not. Now it's 2 balls and a strike. And now the 2-1 is made contact on, picked up by the second baseman Lau, and a nice throw to first to retire GRICHUK, so they finally put him away. Headed to the bottom of the third, it's 3-0 Blue Jays. Bottom part of the order for the Rays here in the third, it's Kevin Kiermaier to get things started. He's 172 on the year. All 3 hitters that will come to the plate are below the Mendoza line. Kiermaier is batting 172, Willie Adames is batting 176, and Michael Perez is batting 163. Now the 0-1 to Kiermaier is high and dropped by McGuire. No matter, as there was no man on base, and the 1-1 is low, so good take there by Kiermaier. A lefty-on-lefty matchup for the Gold Glove all-world center fielder, Kiermaier. A bit of a rough day at the plate yesterday. Was 0 for 3, but did work a walk, as that one is going to get down for a base hit past the second baseman Biggio, and that'll be a leadoff single for Kiermaier. The Rays get their first base runner of the day, their first hit as well. That one getting right over the head of the second baseman Biggio. A good hit off the bat, and they'll give the Rays a base runner. And to help out the shortstop Adames, who will bat now, he's batting 176 on the year. Something we saw yesterday after the walk that was issued to him. It can mess up the starting pitcher as they look to pitch out and kind of throw back to first, and it gives the hitters an advantage. All Yandy Diaz could do with it was a strikeout, but it did ultimately lead to a stolen base by Kiermaier. The 1-1 pitch here to Adames is fouled away. Barring a double play, you almost know that Kiermaier is going to be running at some point. You just don't know when it is. And now the 1-2 to Adames is in there for strike 2. So Adames patient with this at-bat. The count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a lefty on righty matchup favoring the youngster shortstop. And now the 2-2 is outside, a good take, and the count is full at 3-2. The catcher Perez is on deck. So not necessarily who you want backing up a leadoff single, but you can only work with what you've got. And now the payoff to Adames is inside for ball 4. So a nice at-bat worked by Adames. He will walk. And now the Rays have base runners at first and second. First walk issued by Rue, and he has now given up back-to-back base runners, and it'll be the catcher Perez. Perez, 163 on the season. You know the story. Mike Zunino hurt his finger a couple of weeks earlier. He goes on the injury list for a couple of months, and Perez, who is on the roster on opening day, takes his place. They called up Chris Herman, but Michael Perez has asserted himself as the starting catcher at this point, as that one is right to the third baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He gets the out at first and the out at second. A double play grounded into by the catcher. That was probably the worst possible thing he could have done. Kiermaier moves over to third, so you can at least drive in a run here as the Rays go back to the top of their lineup. That one goes 5-4-3. And now back to the top of the lineup the Rays go. It's the first baseman, Jose Martinez. Martinez is 0 for 1 with a ground out to the pitcher. Now, the first pitch he sees is swung on but fouled. Martinez, as he did yesterday, is playing for Choi at first base. That one is backhanded by the first baseman, Tellez. And he steps on the bag to retire the side. So the Rays get base runners on first and second with no outs. Ground into a double play. And another ground out will end the threat. No runs yet. At the end of 3, it's 3-0 Blue Jays. It's the catcher, Reese McGuire, to lead off this 4th inning. He walked in his first plate appearance, and he did end up coming around to score. It was an RBI double by Rowdy Tellez. The first pitch to McGuire is swung on and missed for strike 1. Another swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. That one is low and blocked in the dirt. So it's a ball and 2 strikes. 66 pitches for Morton. He comes out to start a 4th. At this rate, he could probably get through 5. He's given up 3 runs. So ultimately not the disaster that we assumed it might have been, as he gets McGuire to strike out there. McGuire's now 0 for 1 on the day. Morton picks up his 3rd strikeout. And now there's 1 gone. Bottom part of the order. So now it's the 8th man in the lineup, Billy McKinney. Flat out to center his first time up. He'll face the righty Morton here. That one is outside for ball 1. Another take, and it's 2-0. The 70th pitch from Morton is popped up. Couple of Rays over there. It'll be the second baseman, Lau, that's under it. And he'll make the catch to retire McKinney. He goes down for the 2nd time today. The fly out to the second baseman. And now with 2 outs and the base is empty, it's the Blue Jays second baseman, Cavan Biggio. Biggio 2 for 4 in the series with a run batted in. 0 for 1 with a strikeout here today. Another righty on lefty, as has been the first 2 Blue Jays Morton has faced in this inning, as that one is fouled. They gave you a good look at the Rays shift. They're shifted way inside. A baseball unfair territory on that side. Could get down for extra bases. As it does get right into that part, just as I mentioned, it's going to get all the way back to the wall. Chased by the left fielder Renfroe, and it'll be a 2-out double for Cavan Biggio. His first extra base hit of the series, and his first of the year. Rays already have a couple of men warming up in the bullpen. That was the 5th hit already surrendered by Morton, as that one is taken by Tellez, that curveball. Rowdy Tellez is 1 for 2 with a strikeout and an RBI double. At this rate, Morton can probably give you 1 more. Now that you're at 75, and now the 0-1 is outside. It all depends on how many innings they need. It's the lefty Poche and the lefty McKay. I have no earthly idea how McKay even has his arm throwing. He had a bulk outing 4 days ago, and he's played in 2 games since then. That one outside, and it's 2-1. That pitch by Tellez is taken for strike 2, and now Morton is 1 strike away from getting out of this inning scoreless. He's given up a double, but hopefully he can limit it to that. And now the 2-2 is going to be popped up and foul into the home bullpen, where there's a couple men warming up, as we mentioned. Another 2-2 is outside. I'm not sure if Morton thought he would actually chase at a fastball that outside, or if he just lost handle of it a little bit. The count to the leadoff man is now full. And the payoff is popped up. Hit well off the bat, chased by the left fielder, RENFROE, and it's going to be off the wall. No play for either of them. It's going to be another RBI double for Rowdy Tellez. It scores Biggio from second. And so now it's 4-0 Blue Jays. 6th hit of the day for Toronto. That one looked good off the bat. No play for either of the outfielders there. They just watched it go off the wall. Looked like RENFROE could have made a play for it, but he did not. And now it's a similar situation. 2 outs with a man on second. This time for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. A good block in the dirt by Perez, and the runner will stay put. Guerrero Jr. is 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. He's reached base twice. 80 pitches now for Morton. Now you question with the top of the lineup, do you even have him start a 5th? Probably, as now you just need innings in a game where your offense doesn't look great. And you're already down 4-0. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is 182 on the season with runners in scoring position. He has Tellez at second. A bit of a rare stat. 2 RBI doubles for Rowdy Tellez in back-to-back at-bats. As Guerrero Jr. takes a hack at that one, but grounded right to the shortstop. Adames is so to first, will be in time to retire the side. So on a couple hits, Morton gives up another run. The Rays are now down 4-0. It's Yandy Diaz to get things started for the Rays here in the 4th. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout against Rue. He's now 0 for 5 in the series. He had 2 strikeouts yesterday, and that one is in there for strike 1. Kevin Cash likes how he hits lefties, so he put him at the 2nd spot in the lineup, and now the 0-1 pitch is line. It's going to get down for a base hit. It's going to go all the way to the wall. Will he turn for 2? He will, and the throw is in time. They throw Yandy Diaz out at second base. And now there's 1 out. A bit to process there. So it got down against the shift all the way to the wall. Yandy Diaz, not a fast guy, stretches for 2 and barely gets thrown out at second. It was a good throw by the left fielder Hernandez, Teoscar Hernandez. And now the 1-0 to RENFROE is outside for ball 2. So just when you thought the Rays could add something exciting, now they feel a bit deflated. It's now RENFROE who's 0 for 1 so far today. The count to him is now 2 balls and a strike. Rue, only 39 pitches. He's working much more efficiently. And as we mentioned in his last start, had a complete game shutout against the Royals, only giving up 3 hits. A swing and a miss from RENFROE, and now it's 2-2. So frustrating for the Rays. Right when they get things going in their favor, they shoot themselves in the foot, with Yandy Diaz getting thrown out at second base. It's a full count to RENFROE, though, so they can maybe add a base runner. Jansen calling for the high pitch, and it is. And now RENFROE will walk with 1 out. He reaches base for the first time today. Second walk issued by Rue. And now it's Austin Meadows that will come to the plate. Austin Meadows 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. That came in the 2nd inning. Another lefty on lefty matchup. Meadows singing the starter for another time. That one outside for ball 1. Rays down 4 runs in the 4th. After a shaky start for Morton, Meadows fouls that one away. It's been a bit of an ugly stretch for the Rays. If you recall the road trip, they end up above 500. It was a 6-4 road trip for them, as a cut and a miss there for Meadows makes it 1-2. They took a series from the Indians, a good team, no doubt, 3-1, and then they come home, and in their first game, it's a walk-off against the Astros, as Meadows strikes out there for out number 2. And after that win against the Astros, you think the Rays really might be on a good track. They were, at that point, only one game under 500. They then get absolutely destroyed the next two games. They lose 10-0 in one, and they lose, I think, by 10 runs in the next day. And then they lose in a 4-1 fashion yesterday. So in totality, only a 3-game losing streak. You're only 6 games back at first place, but you need to start putting some wins back in the win column, as that one is going to be backhanded by Tellez to retire the side. That one looked pretty good, but a nice play by the Blue Jays first baseman at the end of 4. The home team is down 4-0. It's now Lourdes Gurriel Jr. to come to the plate first in this 5th inning. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and is walked. He takes that first pitch high for ball 1. Now the 1-0 is another pitch taken, so it's 2-0. 84 pitches now for Morton. He comes out, the easy decision, I would say, to start a 5th. If he can give you 5 innings, that's not the end of the world. He's kept you within a grand slam. So, while it very well may go down as a loss, it's not the worst thing in the world, as that one is in there for strike 1, taken by Gurriel Jr. And now the 3-1. That one's low, so a leadoff walk issued to Lourdes Gurriel Jr. He walks for the 2nd time today. It's in fact the 4th walk issued by Morton, as he has now allowed a whopping 10 base runners. The Rays end up making a move to the pen. It's Colin Poche out first. In 11 appearances, he has a 2.38 ERA. The first man he will face is Teoscar Hernandez, who's 1 for 2 with a single. Now Morton's line, he'll finish with 4+ because he didn't record an out, but allowed a base runner. So in 4+ innings, he allows 6 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 4 walks. And he is in line for the loss as the Rays are down 4-0 at the time of his exit. The runner at first comes around to score. It will be charged to Morton. That one low and a good block by Perez, and he has had to do that quite a bit since he has taken the starting job, but he's done a good job of it. Zunino, more known as the defensive catcher, Perez having to play some good defense. It's now 2-2 to Teoscar Hernandez, and now the pitch from Poche is in there for strike 3. They ring up Hernandez as Poche picks up a strikeout. A good start for him. As you would think, if you're not going to play McKay today, McKay is warming up in the bullpen, but Fairbanks as well. You think you might just let these guys have 1 inning apiece. And to be honest, that might not be the worst thing for McKay, to just give him an inning. As a starter for most of his career, McKay is used to bulk inning appearances, but his arm, you got to think, is getting a bit tired. Bo Bichette fouls that one back, and it's 0-2. Bichette 0 for 2 on the day, grounded into a double play and lined to the shortstop Adames. He's now batting with 1 on and 1 out, and the 0-2 pitch to him is inside for ball 1. It'll be Brandon Lau, Kevin Kiermaier, and Willie Adames to come to the plate in the home 5th. As the Rays with plenty of time to make up this deficit, they're going to have to start something soon. Now the 2-2 to Bichette is low. So now, after going up in the count, no balls and 2 strikes, Poche has now thrown 3 straight balls, and the count is full. The payoff to Bichette is going to be foul. Right down the right field line. It falls just less than a foot. Foul of the right field line. And now the count stays full. And another payoff is fouled back. Another payoff is in there for strike 3. So an impressive start for Poche. He's now picked up 2 strikeouts and 2 batters faced. As now it's RANDAL GRICHUK, the man that will come to the plate. Getting booed by the home crowd here in St. Pete. He's 1 for 2 with a home run. All 4 of his home runs have been solo shots. And how do I know that, you ask? Because he has 4 runs batted in. So the only times he's batted in a run was himself. So 4 solo shots in a weird season for him. And that is going to get down for a single. And so Poche gives up a hit. The Blue Jays now have runners at first and second as he gets his second hit of the day. GRICHUK does. And now it's Reese McGuire, the catcher, who is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and has walked. Poche just trying to get out of this inning scoreless and give the Rays a chance to come back. Any more runs, and you start to think this home crowd might be headed for the exits. McGuire chased the high fastball, and it's 1-1. The catcher is just 100 on the season with runners in scoring position. He has one at second base. He fouls that one back, and it's 1-2. It's Lourdes Gurriel Jr. at second, and GRICHUK at first. The catcher McGuire pops it up, chased by the center fielder Kiermaier. He's there to retire the side. So Morton only gets through 4+. Poche gets out of the 5th clean. The Rays are still down 4. Brandon Lau, the first man that will come to the plate to face the Blue Jays starter Rue. In his first time up, he grounded to first base. Only 48 pitches through 4 innings for the Jays starter Hyunjin Ryu. He's only given up 2 hits. He's walked 2. So already has a lot of more base runners than he did in his last start, as he had a 3-hit, no-walk complete game shutout of the Royals. As that one to Lau is in there for strike 1. But his trajectory is aiming that way again. Now, no way he goes all 9 2 straight starts. But you can see Ryu getting through 6 or 7 scoreless easily. As they're going to ring up Lau, he takes a couple of strikes. And he's down on strikes. He's now 0 for 2 on the day. Ryu picks up his 2nd strikeout today. And now it's Kevin Kiermaier. Kiermaier fouls that one away for strike 1. He is 1 for 1 with a single that came in the 3rd inning. If you recall, Adames walked after that, and then it was a double play by Perez, and they can't bring him Kiermaier from 3rd with 2 outs. That was their only threat of the day. Aside from if you count that short time where we thought Yandy Diaz could have been in scoring position. Kiermaier strikes out there. It's the 2nd strikeout of the inning, the 4th on the afternoon for Ryu. And now there's 2 gone in a hurry. It's Willy Adames, the shortstop. He's walked in his first plate appearance, and now the first pitch that he sees from Ryu is swung on and missed for strike 1. That one fouled back, so now Adames is 0-2 in a hurry. As Ryu may be projecting towards that complete game, and now the 0-2, the shortstop is popped up, deep fly. The left fielder, Hernandez, is going to go back, but that's it. He's going to catch it for out number 3. Adames makes it a bit interesting, but that's going to be it. The Rays go down in order in this 5th, 1-2-3. They're down 4-0. Leading off this inning for the Blue Jays is the center fielder Billy McKinney. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of flyouts. Poche comes out to start his 6th. As at 19 pitches, they're going to try and get a little more out of him. Didn't give up any runs in the last inning. As that one is grounded right to the first baseman Martinez, and he will turn and run to the first base bag to retire McKinney, as he is now 0 for 3 on the day. A ground out to third baseman, and now it's the second baseman Cavan Biggio to come to the plate. He is 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a double. He did come across to score. He's 3 for 5 in the series with a double and an RBI. As he has been tearing through the Rays so far. He led off yesterday, batting 9th today, and the first pitch that he sees is low for ball 1. The 2-0 pitch is low for ball 3. On paper, it made sense to have Poche come out to start this inning. The Jays going heavy lefty with Morton on the mound. So he retired the lefty McKinney. Now it's the lefty Biggio. And then it'll be the lefty Tellez before it goes back to the righties. And now the 3-1. He puts down the bunt and it's foul. That's a bit odd to see a man put down a bunt on a 3-1 count, but he does, and now the count's full. Can't see I've seen that before. And now the payoff to Biggio. It swung on and missed on a pitch well inside. So Biggio ends up striking out. After a 3-0 count, Poche gets out of it. It gives him 3 strikeouts on the day. And probably the last batter that he will face is the first baseman, the lefty Rowdy Tellez. Now Tellez is 2 for 3 with 2 RBI doubles as he watches that first pitch go by for strike 1. It's the righty Vladimir Guerrero Jr. up next, so if Tellez cannot be retired, I would expect the Rays to make a pitching change, probably the righty Peter Fairbanks. But with the way Kevin Cash manages the bullpen, you never quite know. And now the 0-2 is fouled back. But we would like to think that Poche can get out of this inning clean. It would be a 1-2-3 inning. It would be 2 scoreless for him. And now the 30th pitch is fouled back. Poche getting some nice action on those inside fastballs against lefties. And now another 0-2 to Tellez. Gets him to chase. Swing on a miss. So he strikes out. 2 in the inning for Poche. He gets through 2 scoreless. The Rays with some ground to make up. The deficit is 4. It's the catcher, Michael Perez, to get the 6th inning started. The Rays are only through their lineup. This is the second time through. Perez grounded into a double play his first time up. The Blue Jay starter, Hyun-Jin Ryu, has really had his way here so far with the Rays. And now the first pitch to Perez is in there for strike 1. That one in there for strike 2, and now the catcher down 0-2. That one taken outside. A ball and 2 strikes to count to the catcher. Only 61 pitches for Ryu. He's pacing quite nicely, as we mentioned. At this point, 7 or 8 scoreless seems to be in the cards. Unless the Rays can start doing some damage. No runs yet. And now the 1-2 to Perez is swung on and missed on a bad pitch. Low and inside. So he goes down for the second time today. As the catcher is firmly cemented in a slump, it appears. And now with 1 out, Rays go back to the top of their lineup. It's now Jose Martinez, who's 0 for 2. Grounded to first in his last time up. He's now under the Mendoza line at 192. As you see, that's a very good look at the pitches by inning. Only 3 times has he gone over 10 pitches, and it's been 11 in 2 innings of 14 pitches, so extremely efficient. As that one blocked by Reese McGuire. The Rays not known as an offensive team. They're a pitching team led by, good starters and good bullpen. As that one is lined by Martinez, the left fielder Hernandez goes back, but it's going to die out there for out number 2. That's the second time today that that's happened. So now Martinez is 0 for 3 on the day. Now with 2 outs, it's Yandy Diaz, who is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. As I was saying, the Rays, known for good pitching, that's how they get their wins, but the offense has really fallen into another slump. Most of their hitters at or below 200. The hot hitters that they have since cooled off. For example, Hunter Renfroe, guys like Austin Meadows, even Brandon Lau. And now the 0-1 to Diaz is fouled back. You have to give Kevin Cash credit for the lineup that he's put together today. But it just hasn't been effective, and that could be in part because of the starter there as he gets Diaz to strike out. That will retire the side. A couple of strikeouts for Rue. He continues his dominance of 6 scoreless innings. Rays make another pitching change. It's going to be Peter Fairbanks. We expected this. In 8 appearances, he has a 5.40 ERA. He comes in to face all the right-handed hitters. Poche finishes with 2 innings scoreless, a hit, 4 strikeouts, and no walks. It's the righty Castillo and the righty Drake, which all makes sense. It's righties for the foreseeable future. The next 5 hitters are righties. Fairbanks, the 3rd pitcher, out for the Rays. That one swung on a miss for strike 1. Guerrero Jr. is 1 for 2 with a single and has walked. He's reached base twice. And now the 0-1 from Fairbanks is grounded, picked up by the second baseman Lau. So Guerrero grounds into the shift for out number 1. As he goes down 4-3, and now it's Lourdes Gurriel Jr. to come to the plate. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout and has walked twice. A bit odd to see a couple of guys with very similar names, Guerrero Jr. and Gurriel Jr. Doesn't help that they're both juniors. Both very good hitters in their own right, and now the 0-1 is in there for strike 2. And now the 0-2 pitch is fouled away, so the count will stay where it is. The bullpen so far has been doing a good job of holding down the lead. It's just 4-0, the deficit, I should say, as that one blocked by Perez, and now it's 1-2. Big outs for Fairbanks to get. He already got Guerrero Jr. Now Gurriel, a broken bat, grounded right to Perez. He misses it. Be interesting to see if they call that an error. Gurriel Jr., they're going to call it a hit. It's a broken bat single for Gurriel Jr., his first hit of the day. As that was a bit of an odd play. It looked like Michael Perez almost lost the baseball in the shattering of the wooden bat. Can't blame him. I guess that's why you don't charge an error to him. And now that one is flat out to Meadows for out number 2. So that was Teoscar Hernandez, who flew out to right. And now that will bring up Bo Bichette, who is 0 for 3. Struck out his last time up. He's got Lourdes Gurriel Jr. at first. Blue Jays hold a 4-0 lead. The Rays are down to their final 9 outs to work with, as they've had nothing to show for against the Blue Jays ace, Hyun-Jin Ryu. Now the 1-0 is popped up, chased by the left fielder Renfroe. He's going to go back, And it gets down back at the wall. It's going to be an RBI double for Bo Bichette. It scores Lourdes Gurriel Jr. from first. 7th double of the year for Bo Bichette. And now that increases the Toronto lead to 5. The man at the plate now is Randal Grichuk. Grichuk is 2 for 3 with a single and home run. Now the Rays really have to get something going. Now they're on the wrong side of the slam. If we were playing another sport, you could perhaps call it a 2-possession game. As now it's a 3-0 count to Grichuk. Fairbanks looked like he was going to come in and get a clean inning, but then allowed a run to come across. As that one is popped up, the catcher Perez is under it, and that will retire the side. So Fairbanks gives up another run. It's now 5-0 Blue Jays as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Grab your peanuts and Cracker Jack. Leading off the 7th inning for the home team, it's the left fielder Hunter Renfroe. He is 0 for 1 and has worked a walk. He's 1 for 4 in the series with a solo home run. Hyun-Jin Ryu, not surprisingly, comes out to start a 7th. This is only his 70th pitch, and it's grounded right to him. He'll calmly throw to first to record out number 1. Renfroe retired on only 1 pitch. It goes 1-3. Now that will bring up Austin Meadows, who is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. That went in there for strike 1. And now at this rate, legitimately, with the Rays down to their final 8 outs, it could be another complete game shutout for Ryu, as he is going on an absolute tear. You'd think they might want to pull him with a 5-run lead. It's not like they need him to give him innings. They can go to the bullpen. But that's sometimes something pitchers take pride in, the complete game shutout, as McKinney, the center fielder, is under that Meadows fly ball to retire him. So Meadows at least making contact on an 0-2, but he's retired. Nevertheless, he's now 0 for 3 today. As now with 2 outs, it's Manny Margot, the DH. He's 0 for 2. He's popped up and lined out. You have to give Kevin Cash credit, as I mentioned earlier, with trying to do something with the lineups. But the question now with the slump, the absolute just terrible history in the last couple of games for the Rays, where do you go offensively? What can you do to change the lineup? The Rays have done just about everything that they can. Maybe some trades, maybe sending some guys down. As that one grounded to Biggio, and his throw to first is in time to retire the side. So surprise, surprise, the Rays go down in order, 1-2-3 once again. At the end of 7, they are now down 5-0. It's Diego Castillo, the man out of the pen now for the Rays. In 11 appearances, he has a 3.48 ERA. He's now the 4th pitcher on for the Rays. He'll face the bottom part of the order. It's the 7, 8, 9 hitters. It's Reese McGuire, the lefty. The strange thing about this is that all 3 hitters that will come to the plate in the 8th for Toronto are lefties. Diego, the righty. I guess all matchups are gone to the wind. Down 5-0, you just need innings. Maybe if this was a closer game, this is when you would have used Pache, perhaps. And now the 1-1 is absolutely lined by McGuire. And another no-doubter. That increases the Blue Jays' lead to 6. It's now 6-0. Second home run of the year for the catcher, McGuire. Just as we talked about, the righty Castillo that's brought in to face lefties. The first lefty he faces absolutely drills a home run off of him. McGuire picks up his first hit of the day. And now it's the center fielder, Billy McKinney. That one is swung on and missed for strike one. The 2-1 from Castillo is fouled back, so now it's 2-2. The thing that's really unfortunate for the Rays is a loss here would mean a series loss to the Blue Jays, and that will firmly cement the Rays in 4th place in the division. So now they have 3 teams that they're looking up at. It's going to send the Rays deeper below 500. They're 8-12 as of right now. The schedule doesn't get much easier after the series against the Blue Jays wraps up tomorrow. A swing and a miss from McKinney there. They go to Houston for 4 games, so they're going to have to face that daunted lineup that slashed them here just a few days ago. They have to face them 4 times, and then they go home, where they will play the Royals, and then meet with the Indians once again, so maybe a chance there with the homestand to get some games back. It is Snell v. Ryan Borucki tomorrow, so maybe a chance for Snell to pick up a win. The Rays desperately need one, as this Tampa Bay team really has been ineffective here at home thus far this season. They've won 2 home games to date, on opening day and the walk-off against the Astros earlier this week. And now the 2-1 to Biggio is swung on and fouled back. That one line foul, so the count will stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And the 2-2 is swung on and missed. So Biggio goes down on strikes. And that will be out number 2. And now with 2 gone and the base is empty, it's Rowdy Tellez to the plate. Tellez 2 for 4 with a pair of RBI doubles. And now the 0-1 from Castillo is in there for strike 2. So as Castillo tries to get out of this inning, and now the 0-2 pitch to Tellez is swung on and missed. So picks up the strikeout of Tellez. He gets a couple in this inning. Reese McGuire with a solo home run increases the Blue Jays lead to 6. It's now 6-0 Toronto. The Rays have 6 outs left. Leading off this 8th inning for the Rays is the second baseman, Brandon Lowe. He puts that one into play right to Lourdes Gurriel Jr. And he throws it to first to retire Lowe. So now Lowe goes down for the 3rd time today. It goes 6-3 on the putout. And now it's Kevin Kiermaier to the plate. Kiermaier is 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Two hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. The line for Hyunjin Ryu as he is having himself a day. Now at this point, the complete game shutout is totally in play, as he's gotten through 7 1/3 with ease, 78 pitches. So he may have to go over 100 to get it, as he gets a swing and miss from Kiermaier there. And as that one is flared up by Kiermaier, right into the glove of the center fielder McKinley, though. That looked like it was decent, but flared out. So Kiermaier is now 1 for 3 on the day. And now it'll bring up the shortstop, Willy Adames. Adames is 0 for 1 with a walk. He comes to the plate with 2 outs, and the base is empty here in the 8th. The Rays with 4 outs left to get 6 runs. Things are not looking great for them. They've scored just 1 run, and at this point, the last just about 17 innings, which is certainly not good news for them. They're going to have to get things going in a hurry. Maybe against Ryan Borucki, who is 0-2 on the season. Maybe a good chance to get back to their scoring ways. Remember, they've had a couple of offensive explosions. They won against the Rangers 13-0, and win against the Indians, where I believe they hit 4 or 5 home runs. So the potential is certainly there, but I guess the Rays just ran into the wrong starting pitcher today. Hyunjin Ryu is totally on fire, coming off a complete game shutout win over the Royals, and doing much of the same here today. Has only allowed 4 base runners. He's not heavy on the strikeouts, though, just 6 today, which is similar to his last performance where he had 8 strikeouts. The day's not over, though, and now the 2-2 to Adames is fouled back. Now, let's say, for example, if he can get Adames out in the next 3 pitches, that leaves him at 90 through 8. I think you certainly would bring him out for a 9th inning to try and get him the complete game shutout. It's not a save situation, so it's not super high leverage. But I would also understand if you want to try and get him out. You know, 88 pitches is not a bad outing for a starter, and the fact that he can get you through 8 is great. And now the payoff to Adames is swung on a miss, so he ends up getting Adames out. He's at 89 pitches through 8 innings. The Rays are going to have 3 outs left to get 6 runs against that guy, Hyunjin Ryu. It's now Oliver Drake on for the Rays. We saw him yesterday. In 12 appearances, he has a 9 ERA. He's the 5th pitcher out for the Rays, just looking to get these final 3 outs, as Castillo will exit with the run allowed. It'll be Charlie Morton in line for the loss, however. He's the only thing that charged to these relievers will just be a boost in ERA, if you care about that sort of thing. So now the real question left in this ball game, as the only thing left in doubt is whether or not Hyunjin Ryu will come out to start a 9th. My guess would say yes, as he has been very effective. He's going to have to face the top of the lineup, though, as it'll be the catcher Perez, and then Jose Martinez and Yandy Diaz. And I suppose in the way that the Rays structured this lineup, they didn't certainly put the best hitters at the top. They just try to play matchups, try to put the good righties against the lefty, Hyunjin Ryu. Charlie Montoyo, the former bench coach of the Rays, certainly familiar with his lineup, as that one grounded right to Adames, and he'll throw to first to retire Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's 1 for 4 on the day. He's reached base twice, and that will probably be his last at-bat of the day. Jose Alvarado warming up in the pen as well, but I can't see a need to use him unless Drake completely implodes. And now Lourdes Gurriel Jr. at the plate. He's 1 for 2 with a single and has worked 2 walks to reach base 3 times, and what has been a good series for him. And now the 0-1 from Drake is low for ball 1. And the 1-1 is absolutely blasted. That one is going to head all the way out. And it's foul. The crowd roared. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. was all pumped up. Didn't stay fair of the foul pole, and that's 1-2. That would have given the Blue Jays a 7-0 lead. Drake certainly a nice exhale there. As about 12,000 the crowd here in St. Pete looks on their Rays that look like they may drop to 5 games below 500. And now that one fouled away. And the 1-2 is swung on and missed. Drake picks up a strikeout of Gurriel Jr. And that will be 2 gone in the 9th for the cleanup man Teoscar Hernandez. He's 1 for 4 on the day with a single. He's also struck out. As if anything, a nice outing by Drake to get his ERA down just a little bit. That one taken outside, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. That one in there for strike 1. A cut and a miss. Fernandez there, and now Drake 1 strike away for giving the Rays their last 3 outs to pick up the 6 runs. And what we hope will be a 9th inning to remember. Most of the crowd here in St. Pete has stuck around here on this Saturday afternoon. Now the 2-2 is low for ball 3, so the count is now full. And a cut and a miss. Retires Hernandez on strikes. Drake gets out of the inning clean. 1-2-3. The Rays have 3 outs left to get 6 runs. Who will it be against? Hyun-Jin Ryu will stay on to start a 9th. The Blue Jays have a couple of men warming up in the bullpen. But it seems in all likelihood that Ryu will be able to finish this game. He's facing the catcher Perez here for only the 3rd time today. The 0-1 is low. Probably won't finish under 100 pitches unless, the next 3 guys make some quick outs. But an impressive outing for Hyun-Jin Ryu nevertheless. He's gotten 8 scoreless so far. And the appeal and the third base umpire says it's a ball. Reese McGuire calling for the high pitch, and it is. And he got the cut and a miss of the catcher Perez. Perez now 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts on the day. That will be his finish line. And he is certainly in a slump right now. And now the Rays do go back to the top of their lineup. It's the righty Jose Martinez, who is 0 for 3, flew out to left in his last time up. The first pitch that he sees is inside, taken for ball 1. Something that doesn't happen very often in these days in the MLB. And by that I mean a starting pitcher going complete game 2 starts in a row. The 5 days off, of course, but an impressive feat nevertheless. And a swing and a miss. Martinez there, now it's 1-2. 8 strikeouts for Ryu. Dominant, but not in the sense that you would think. His pitches aren't necessarily unhittable, but the Rays have just not been able to piece anything together. As that one is grounded right to the first baseman, Rowdy Tellez, and that will bring the Rays down to their final out. Part of it has just been hitting to the right spots. The infield has always seemed to be in the right place at the right time with these grounders. A lot of pop-ups as well, as that's kind of what Rue does, and still a chance to get the complete game shutout under 100 pitches with 98. He's got 1 out left to get. It's Yandy Diaz. Diaz is 1 for 3 with a single and has struck out twice. Possibly a different lineup drastically, you would think, tomorrow to try and shake things up. As that pitch to Diaz is inside for strike 1. So this will be Rue's 100th pitch. And it's on its way. And it's going to be foul. That was his 100th pitch. He's got Diaz in an 0-2 count. And now the 0-2 is going to be down for a base hit. Dropped by the left fielder, Hernandez. And things aren't quite over yet, as Diaz reaches base for the second time today. Figure they would call that a base hit. Only the third allowed by Rue, as that matches his total given up in his last start. And they're going to let him, I mean, it's obvious they're going to let him finish the game. They have a couple of men warming up in the bullpen, but he's now over the 100 pitch threshold that early on in the season, that's typically where they get the yank. He'll face Hunter Renfroe here, the lefty on righty matchup. Renfroe is 0 for 2 with a walk. He fouls that one away down the left field line. So, of course, as we said, we'll see you tomorrow, Sunday afternoon baseball at Snell v. Barucki. A good chance for the Rays, hopefully, to pick up a win. As this loss today is going to drop them to 8-13. They'll be 5 games under. Depending on the result of the Yankees game, they may be 7 games back of first place, which would certainly hurt. And now the 1-2 to Renfroe is fouled away down the right field line. 105 pitches now for Rue. 1 out left to get. The 1-2 is fouled away. And the 1-2 pitch is popped up. Chased by the center fielder McKinney. And he's there to retire the side. The Toronto starting pitcher Hyun-Jin Ryu goes complete game shutout. In just 107 pitches, 3 hits allowed, 8 strikeouts, and 2 walks. The second straight start that he's gotten a complete game shutout. As that improves the Blue Jays to just a game under 500. They're now 10-11. They have a firm grip now on third place in the American League East. Hyun-Jin Ryu gets the win. Charlie Morton the loss. Toronto also takes the series now, but we'll see you tomorrow for Sunday afternoon baseball.
Fans are final line score tonight. First for the victorious Blue Jays, 6 runs, 10 hits, no errors. They left 8